Hello and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak, sponsored by Renaissance Bank. I'm your host, Chris Kiefer, and we're going to talk about the top news and sports stories from Northeast Mississippi. But first, let's start with your weather forecast. Today, we're looking at sunny skies with a high of 69 and a low of 44. Looking ahead at your 3-day outlook, Saturday, partly cloudy with a high of 73 and a low of 57. Sunday, thunderstorms. That's a 100% chance of rain. High of 62 and a low of 55. And for Monday, more rain. That's a 70% chance. The high is 66 and the low is 53. Let's take a look now at today's top headlines. Mississippi's 8 public universities plan to raise tuition by an average of 4% next fall. The university said lingering effects from state budget cuts 2 years ago required them to get more revenue from students. The College Board on Thursday preliminarily approved additional tuition increases at all of the universities. Trustees will vote again next month to finalize the changes, according to the Associated Press. The statewide average for 2 semesters of full-time tuition and fees will rise by an average of $302 to $7,805 for in-state undergraduates. Increases range from 5.6% at Delta State University to 2% at Mississippi Valley State University. Universities are scheduled to get $85 million less in state money in the 2019 budget year beginning July 1st than they did in the 2016 budget year. Total spending will rise about 1% next year, but will remain 11% below 2016 levels. The 2 Democrats who have announced they are running in the special election to replace Thad Cochran are the first 2 candidates to officially qualify for the U.S. Senate election. Both Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton and Mike Espy filed qualifying papers on Thursday in the office of Mississippi Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann. Espy is a former U.S. House member and Secretary of Agriculture. He is currently an attorney in Jackson. Shelton is in his 2nd term as Tupelo's mayor. The 2 announced Republican candidates, State Senator Chris McDaniel of Ellisville and interim U.S. Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith, have not yet officially qualified to run for the post. The qualifying deadline is 5 p.m. on Tuesday. To qualify for the special election, a candidate must submit to the Secretary of State's office a petition containing the names of at least 1,000 registered Mississippi voters and a $1,000 filing fee. The special election will be held on November 6th. If no candidate garners the majority vote, the top 2 vote getters will advance to a runoff. The Tupelo Public School District will publicly announce its new superintendent at 4 p.m. on Monday at the Tupelo High School Performing Arts Center. The TPSD Board of Trustees released a statement Thursday evening inviting community members and parents to the announcement and to a meet and greet that will follow at 4:30 p.m. Current Superintendent Gerald Loden announced he will retire at the end of the school year. Loden will then become superintendent in Missouri's Nixa Public School District. On Thursday, the school district hosted a farewell reception for Loden at the Hancock Leadership Center on the campus of Itawamba Community College. Loden, who has been an educator in Mississippi for 28 years, was greeted by district staff, community members, and students. And in sports, both the Ole Miss and Mississippi State baseball teams are at home this weekend. Mississippi State will host 3rd-ranked Arkansas on Super Bulldog weekend. The series begins tonight at 6:30 and continues Saturday at 6 and Sunday at 1. The Bulldogs are trying to get back on track after having lost 4 of their first 5 SEC series. Arkansas has won 9 of its last 10 games. Meanwhile, Ole Miss hosts Georgia. That series will begin tonight at 6:30. The 2 teams will also play Saturday and Sunday at 1:30 each day. Ole Miss will also look to rebound after losing its last 2 SEC series. The Rebels' Ryan Olenek enters on a 16-game hitting streak. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Friday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings, courtesy of the Daily Journal, that gets you news off the page and on the go. The Memo podcast takes a deep dive into a single topic each week to give you a greater understanding of Northeast Mississippi. This week's show looks at the MLK Memories Reporting Project by Ole Miss journalism students. Look for it later today in Apple Podcasts and Google Play or online at memo.thejournal.com. And Ole Miss and Mississippi State fans, listen to the Double Coverage podcast with beat reporters Parrish Alford and Logan Lowry. On this week's episode, they talk about both baseball teams looking to rebound this weekend and about Mississippi State's spring football workouts. Look for it in Apple Podcasts and Google Play or online at doublecoverage.thejournal.com. Special thanks to Renaissance Bank for sponsoring Newsbreak. And remember, you can catch new episodes each weekday morning at thejournal.com and on our Facebook page. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Kiefer. Have a great Friday.